Aloha Libra, and welcome to your tarot reading for the week of May 25th through the 31st. We're going to go ahead and dive right in. If you want to get a personal reading or join us on Patreon, all that information is down in the description box below, but we're going to go ahead and get started with your tarot reading for this week. We're going to start with the overall theme or vibe for the week. We'll move into any potential obstacles or challenges. We'll shuffle to see how we can overcome those things, and then we'll get any extra messages that universe and spirit might have for you. We are going to start with a love oracle and a general oracle to kick off the overall vibe for the week. So let's go ahead and see what we have in terms of love, emotions, and relationships for you, Libra, this week, May 25th through the 31st. I can't believe I said March. Maybe something happened for some of you in March in terms of love, and now we're seeing the results of that. Let me know in the comments if that resonates with you. But we're going to go ahead and shuffle for this week, May 25th through the 31st. We have two cards. We have deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. This is the card to pay attention to people's movements. Somebody else got this week. Make sure you're watching your sun, moon, and rising, or maybe you're cross-watching, okay? But this card really just says pay attention, listen to your intuition. If somebody feels like it might be a little bit off, it might be off. If you're wondering if somebody is lying to you, maybe they are. This could also be a card to be honest with yourself, okay? You don't want to deceive yourself. If you're trying to force yourself to stay in a situation even though you don't know it, even though you know that it's not right for you, this is a good week for you to remove yourself from that. Be honest with yourself, be raw with yourself, because if you try to force something, it's just never going to be healthy. It's never going to work out for the best benefit. Then you also have passion. I'm going to say this. There's been multiple signs that I've gotten this card this week. This is all about listening to your passions, romanticizing your day-to-day life, and really allowing yourself to be in a lighthearted energy. For some of you, you have some Debbie Downers in your life, okay? For some of you, you have some people that are genuinely just trying to rain on your parade, and this is a week where you say, I am not allowing you to rain on my parade this week. This is my life. I'm happy, I'm excited, and I'm allowing myself to romanticize. I'm the main character in my rom-com this week, and anyone or anything that comes in with some sneaky snake energy can see its way out the door. And that's kind of what it feels like for you this week, Libra. Let's go ahead and get a general oracle and kind of see what else can be added to this overall theme and vibe for the week so far. But I kind of like this energy. At first, when I saw the deception card, I was like, I don't know if it's going to be a good week. But it almost kind of feels like you are essentially saying, I have no time for it this week. You have a lot of bonus cards coming out this week, Libra. For those of you that have been considering a personal reading, this might be a good week for you to do so. Lots of messages from Spirit and Tarot. You have creative expression. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. This is also the card of kind of like Page of Cups, your personality, okay? So maybe taking a little extra time for some DIY projects. Maybe this is tapping to your creative expression, whether that has to do with making art, whether it's painting, drawing, sculpting. Maybe this is making music. Maybe this is dancing. Maybe this is writing in sense of poetry, or maybe a blog. Just allowing yourself to get creative in ways that you express yourself, okay? And then we also have study. This is very similar to Gemini's reading. I just want to throw that out there. If you have Gemini in your chart, watch Gemini's video as well. But you also have study. Reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. This does not have to be study in a traditional way. It can be, but I think a lot of you air signs this week are really being asked to tap into that air element, okay? That analytics, logics, thinking, allowing yourself to absorb information, absorb knowledge. If there is some sort of creative expression that you've always wanted to try, this might be a good week to learn how to do it. Maybe you always wanted to learn how to paint. Okay, we're throwing on a Bob Ross video. Maybe you always wanted to write music. Okay, we're trying to write some music this week. Go to rhymezone.com and figure out a way to write some lyrics that rhyme with each other, okay? I feel like this is the week for you to learn new ways to communicate, but also just studying things that genuinely make you feel happy, passionate, and excited. And again, if there's anyone or anything in your life that's given you side eye, tell them that they can kick rocks, they can see the door. I do not want that energy around me this week. I'm curious to see what's going to come out in the tarot deck for you, Libra, for the overall vibe for the week. So let's go ahead and get that card for Libra. Overall theme or vibe for the week, tarot energy, tarot messages. What do we have to add to the overall vibe and theme for the week? We have the Three of Wands. You know what you want. What are you waiting for? Oh, are you waiting for this person that rains on your parade or that downer to leave your life? they're not going to leave by themselves. You might have to show them the door. The Three of Wands says you are ready to expand. You are ready to move forward. You are ready for the life that you desire, the life that you visualize, that sort of fantasy. Again, what are you waiting for? I think the answer to what you are waiting for is, again, I think there's people in your life that are planting seeds of doubt, whether it's through jealousy, whether it's through just the need to want to control things. Maybe this is someone who's narcissistic or gaslighting. There's something in your life that is holding you back. And again, it could be consciously or subconsciously, but I would really try your best this week to make note of it and separate yourself from that. Create healthy boundaries. Just know that this next chapter and this next journey, this moment of expansion that really leads to a lot of passion and happiness and excitement in your life. And not only just happiness and expansion, but also like a level up personally, right? It's really just waiting for you to overcome whatever that doubt is. And it is being planted by somebody else, okay? Let's go ahead and see what the overall potential challenge or obstacle is going to be for you this week. Potential obstacle or challenge for Libra. You had two cards. You have Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Swords in reversal. I think the challenge or obstacle this week for you is you might just be waiting for an opportunity to come into your life. You might be waiting for there to be this sort of like divine crossing of paths. I'm not sure if that's necessarily going to happen for you this week. I think you need to maybe take charge of the situation. Take charge and say, you know what, this is not working, this is working, this isn't working, and this is kind of giving me some bad vibes. I'm going to remove this, I'm going to change this, I'm going to keep doing more of this because it's working. And I think that essentially is going to lead you to that opportunity or that chance or that pentacle being served to you. But it's not going to fall in your lap without you taking charge of the situation. You have the Ten of Swords in reversal, which means that the hard part is already done. The Ten of Swords in the upright can feel like a very painful or bittersweet ending to a situation, whether it's a chapter in a job, whether it's a project, a relationship, a way of thinking, whatever it is. It's already come to an end. It's really essentially saying now is the time to pull those swords out and allow yourself to move forward. I think for some of you, it's like I did the hard work, I ended the job, or I walked away from the living situation, or I called somebody out on their BS. You did that part. Now it's the what next. Okay, the what next is expanding. Completely removing those things from your life, knowing that the next thing is not necessarily just going to fall into your lap. And we do need to maybe take a little bit of charge here. I'm curious to see what the card is going to be to overcome the challenge, right? What is the card to overcome the challenge? The Sun in reversal. The Sun in the upright is joy, growth, okay? And I think growth is probably the big picture here for you this week, Libra. It's all about personal expansion, personal growth. What are you expanding into, right? That Sun card is happiness. It is joy. And I think for a lot of you, you're ready for happiness and joy. And more than likely, whatever this previous chapter or season was in your life brought you a little bit more stress than it did joy, okay? With that being said, and this being in the reversal, the way you're going to overcome the challenge or obstacle this week, which again might be just kind of waiting for the next thing to fall in your lap, the way you're going to overcome that is to get excited, to get into a positive mindset, to take charge, to allow your growth to happen. Again, you know what you want. What are you waiting for? I feel like, let me go ahead and get your extra messages because I feel like this is pretty clear, Libra. We don't get a lot of tarot messages that come out and universe says this is what it is and that's it. But that's what it feels like this week for you. I think it's very clear. There's some people, some places, some environments, some jobs, whatever it is. Maybe it's more than one thing that's in your life that is raining on your parade, that's holding you back, that's not being totally honest with you. It is time to get into your place of passion, to get into your place of excitement, to allow yourself to see that there is a whole horizon waiting for you to expand into, and anything that's not bringing fulfillment into your life, anything that's not resonating on positive energy, anything that's slowing you down, anything from this previous chapter that felt very heavy, frustrating, hard, emotionally difficult, it's time for that to go. You are coming into a time where there's going to be a lot more happiness, growth, and joy, but it's just removing those thorns from whatever that rose was. I'm telling y'all, I think at the end of the day, Libra, I really feel, well, let me go ahead and tell you about the Ace of Wands because I forgot to tell you about this. The Ace of Wands is new excitement, new opportunities for forward movement. This is the card of fire energy. It's pure fire. It's confidence, motivation, forward movement. It's all that energy that we were talking about with this passion card. It's in reversal because we need to embody it and we need to embrace it, okay? So overall, it's essentially saying, find your creative voice again. Maybe part of that creative voice, you're going to have to learn what that looks like. That's what the study card is coming into play, okay? Allow yourself to get passionate and excited for this next chapter, because at the end of the day, you do know what you want your life to look like. There are some things in your life right now, though, that are holding you back from being able to do that. Allow yourself to expand. You're going to expand by removing those swords, removing those thorns in your side, and knowing that this new opportunity is not going to fall in your lap, but it is available for you to go and take it. How are you going to get there? You're going to allow yourself to step into the energy of the sun with growth, vitality, joy, and overall passion, okay? These are nice messages. I hope that you like this reading for this week, Libra. And if you're still watching and you haven't liked this video, consider liking this video. Consider subscribing to the channel. Come join our Ohana. We love making new friends. And if you want a personal reading with me, you can always find me at themagicsiren.com. If you want to join us on Patreon, that information is down below. And check out our weekly podcast. It's called The Siren Circle. I have it tagged below as well. I'm going to let you get back to your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you again next week. Aloha.